Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the July 15th Long Hill Township Committee meeting. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Megan, please read the statement of presiding officer.
I got it. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting, specifically the time, date, and public call-in information were included in the meeting that was electronically sent to the Echo Sentinel, Morris Daily Record, and posted on the township website. The agenda and public handouts for this meeting can be viewed online at www.longhillnj.gov. A public comment period will be held in the order it is listed on the meeting agenda. Failure of the governing body to provide a live broadcast of this meeting or technological problems encountered during the meeting that affect remote viewing and/or participation will not invalidate this meeting or any action taken, including but not limited to the adoption of any ordinance, resolution, or motion.
Thank you, Megan. Please take roll.
Committeewoman Fettis.
Present.
Committeeman Liberato.
Present.
Committeeman Verleza is under the weather, but he is on Zoom, so I'm just going to promote him to a panelist. He does not have any voting privileges, but he is on. Deputy Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia?
Present. Okay, so tonight we have two proclamations. Item number 4 on your agenda. Two of the superstars, and I mean that sincerely, two of the all-star superstars for many, many years here in Long Hill Township. The first one we're going to do is Mayor George Armenti. And is George here?
Yes, he's here.
There he is.
On the end.
All right, so I'm going to read this, and then there are several other titles that Mayor Armenti held over the years, but I'll read the proclamation. Whereas the untiring work and dedication of volunteers, while certainly appreciated, too often goes without adequate recognition of the valuable contribution that is made. Whereas George Armenti is being honored as a Sterling Fire Company firefighter for 60 years of dedication, serving his township where he lives for his entire 82 years of life. Whereas George, for 60 years, has demonstrated extraordinary dedication, courage, and selfless service as a volunteer firefighter, answering the call to protect the lives and property of all citizens of Long Hill. Whereas George has served various roles throughout his 6 decades: Deputy Chief, President of the State Relief Association, Life Member of the State Association, Truck Committee Chairman in the 80s, and Chairman of the 75th Anniversary Parade, and responded to countless emergencies and other incidents with his compassion and commitment. Whereas George, in addition to responding to emergencies, devoted countless hours to training and mentoring new firefighters, supporting community fire prevention efforts, maintaining equipment, and strengthening the traditions and values of the volunteer fire service. Whereas George has remarkable milestones of 60 years of volunteer service, it reflects a lifetime of sacrifice, dedication, and steadfast commitment to the safety and well-being of others, serving as an inspiration to fellow firefighters and the entire community. And before I read the therefore part, George was also, and as I mentioned, he was also mayor for a number of years. He was on the township committee for a number of years. He was police commissioner. I don't know if there are any others. I see his family out there. If there are things I'm missing, please, by all means, tell me. But George is like the lifetime volunteer of Long Hill Township. Therefore, be it proclaimed that on July 15th, 2026, the Township Committee of the Township of Long Hill in the County of Morris State of New Jersey, on behalf of the residents of Long Hill Township, does hereby extend deepest thanks and appreciation for George Armenti Jr., his service to the township. And he's also a Hall of Fame Watch on Gills.
That's right.
Megan, we could do a photo?
Yeah.
And the entire township committee, I think Jack should join, Randy should join as well.
Many, many years.
You have the plaque.
Out of those 60 years.
Well deserved. I think your family should be up there. We'll do it, maybe you're in charge. How would you like this?
Turn around.
And then we'll take one with the family.
Correct, yes.
All right. So, everybody, sign up. Maybe, I don't know, George should be in the middle, maybe. Yes. And then, Mayor Frank, right. No, we'll do that later, Frank.
Ready, look this way. 1, 2, 3. Very nice.
Did you get us facing you? Family, come on, get good pictures. And Chris, you have to come up anyway for a photograph. Well, no, take, the picture's all right. You want to have it, you want to take it?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. And right here. 1, 2, 3. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Like Beckham. You just nicknamed yourself, didn't you? Colette, it's not just the township committee boss around here. You're an equal opportunity boss, lady. Thank you. Let's fire it up.
Like, maybe a little slower.
He was enjoying his moment.
nice.
Go ahead,
It was nice. It was very nice.
It was very nice. It really was.
It was. Lisa next. And more important, Nacho.
More important macho in the word.
Colette, thank you for organizing everything. All right. And Megan, thank you for arranging everything. So if it's possible for our next proclamation to not have gone first, it's only because of George Armenti. So we have our second longtime volunteer in Lord knows how many capacities. So I'm going to read it. Whereas the untiring work and dedication of volunteers, while certainly appreciated, too often goes without adequate recognition of the valuable contribution that is made. And whereas Lisa Scanlon is a dedicated and accomplished professional whose impact on our community extends far beyond her role as recreation director. A longtime resident and passionate volunteer, Lisa exemplifies service, leadership, and compassion in everything she does. Whereas Lisa, in 2014, was nominated as Volunteer of the Year in recognition of the extraordinary time and energy she devotes to both her profession and volunteer efforts. She consistently goes above and beyond for her township and its residents, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to helping others. Whereas Lisa, among her many contributions, serves as an EMT with the local first aid squad and an especially demanding and vital role. She is known for her selflessness and reliability, never hesitating to step in and assist regardless of the situation. Her ability to manage a diverse team of volunteers and employees of all ages while navigating a wide range of personalities and emotions speaks to her exceptional leadership and interpersonal skills. Whether interacting with residents who are frustrated, frightened, or joyful, Lisa responds with empathy, professionalism, and care. Whereas Lisa, perhaps most notably, her courage and dedication were put to the ultimate test last year when she left work to respond to an emergency call, only to discover it involved her own husband and their 2 dogs. So Rebel and Jagger. Without hesitation, she sprang into action, performing life-saving measures that ultimately helped save her husband's life. Thanks to her quick thinking and expertise, he has since made a strong recovery. Lisa Scanlon embodies the very spirit of community service. Her resilience, compassion, and tireless dedication make her an outstanding person to be recognized by the County of Morris as a nominee for the Sissy Laurie Award. Therefore, be it proclaimed that on July 15, 2026, the Township Committee of the Township of Long Hill in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, on behalf of the residents of Long Hill Township, does hereby extend deepest thanks and appreciation for Lisa Scanlon's lifetime of service to Long Hill Township. And Lisa just loves when we embarrass her. So everybody again, if we don't mind, and Megan, maybe this time you could be in the photograph? No? I don't think so.
I'm good there. Here.
I'm afraid of 3 people in this town, my wife, Megan, and Colette. Not necessarily in that order, by the way. Where's the keys?
Where's the word? Wrong way.
everybody a chance to. Thank you for coming.
Regular gathering only.
Is that a neighbor? Is it a neighbor? Oh, I guess I should come back. There we go. Thanks, Dave.
Looks like Chuck brought files with
All right,
him.
here we go.
He's prepared.
All right, back to the more mundane parts of Township Committee meeting. Item number 5, the meeting is open to the public. Remarks and statements pertaining to agenda items only. Comments and remarks will be limited to 3 minutes. I'm not cutting you off, Chuck.
Yep.
It should be a relatively short meeting.
They're trying to tell you
So
something.
you'll have a chance at the end for items not on the agenda.
I never put it out right away. I always wait till public comment.
Me too. Thank you. Right. Charles Reynolds Milling, the question first. These are items about the agenda. Would it also include, since it was posted, the bill list? Could I comment on that now?
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
Yes, okay, good. Resolution 26-191. I thought this was passed last meeting on compensation. Was it not? That's a question.
No,
Want me to take it? Yeah. There was an error on the last meeting. While the heading was 2026, the actual salaries were that of 2025. So this is correcting that.
So the agenda from last meeting was incorrect.
Correct.
Okay. Let's turn to the bill list. And I guess these questions, since Randy's, I guess, responsible for the finances and approval of these things, these questions are addressed at Randy. I'll do it by page. Page 4. Chestnut Run at Long Hill. Municipal reimbursement, $4,000 to the condo. What's that all about?
That is for the municipal services law that provide condo associations that don't get certain municipal services, that they can get reimbursed by the township for those services. This is for snow plowing and street lighting.
Thank you. Page 7, J. Colvin Associates. I was under the impression that round 4 was complete and everything was taken care of. And I see invoices here from the township planner about, I don't know, $5,800 for development plans, COA fees. I see I see charges for Jack for COA fees. Isn't this over in February? What are we working on? Round 5, round 6?
There were certain steps that we had to implement in order to comply with the settlement agreement and the court order. So in Jessica's case, I believe she was drafting manuals for various parts of the fair share plan.
$5,800 worth?
I'd have to look at her bill, but
Okay.
it sounds reasonable to me.
Page 10. Randy, it's made up for you at Millington Condo, another $3,500 in municipal reimbursement. I assume that's the same answer
thing.
as a, okay.
And that's the only 2 condo associations in town that are entitled to those reimbursements.
Okay. Page 14, Blosnia Cohen LLC. I thought we were done with all the labor stuff and the chief and other labor issues. We got a bill here for $1,800. We got another lawsuit?
That, no, we have personnel issues on an ongoing basis. So it's not just a matter of one lawsuit or anything else. He's our labor attorney, so any kind of contracts, questions, contract negotiations, any kind of personnel issues, we talk to our labor attorney about.
Okay. Here's the big one, and the final one, page 20. Our township engineer. We got a vendor total here, a mere $38,900. The one that struck me the most was the first one, $7,876 for roadway opening engineering fees. Then a couple other ones got me of interest. Chestnut Street Improvement, $5,800. Central Park, oh, let's see, that's $3,600. Oh, we're Cantor Park, they get $700. Total, I don't know, there's a subtotal of $30,000, there's a subtotal of $38,000. God, I wish I was an engineer. Randy, you want to respond to the road one? The one that got me was the $7,876 for the road closing engineering fees.
Yep. That is no cost to the township, which is good news. That is inspections for public service, electric and gas when they're doing their meter pits, and inspections to make sure that they they fill in the road and repave the road and repave that sections correctly.
So who's paying that?
Public
PSC?
service.
Good. Okay. What about the other $30,000?
So 12,000 is engineering services for various things. The next one is Long Hill Reconstruction.
$12,000 a month. Is that reasonable?
This was a higher month. This is not a normal month. So we had him doing not only the office hours, but he did the DOT, not he, but they did the DOT application for the next round, and some other things. Long Hill Road, that was, I believe, phase 1. So that was in May. That would have been the bidding, getting all the paperwork together for them to do the project, the bonding and so forth. Chestnut Street Improvement is, again, a capital ordinance. That was for Chestnut. In May, it would have been the same type of items, finishing up the contracts and getting mobilization and so forth for the paving. Long Hill 2, Phase 2, that would, again, same process. New Jersey American Water Sewer easements, that is the ongoing New Jersey American Sewer where they may have a question about easements and so forth, and we have our engineer talk to them. Central Park is the bid for the trail, which they mobilized, I believe, yesterday. So that construction will be starting very shortly. Cantor Park is the tennis courts and basketball improvements.
The charges on Central Park, are we going to get that back from the grants, or are we paying for that, taxpayers?
Which one, Cantor Park?
No, the Central Park.
Central Park, we did get a construction grant.
Yeah, but are his fees included in there?
Some of the fees, not 100% of the fees. The other fees will be coming from the open space taxation.
So it's $30,000 and $12,000. That's reasonable. Charges for a month.
Well, I think it's not just the engineer we're paying for, if I'm correct, Randy. That's whatever work the engineering firm's doing,
Sure.
inspectors they send out. So
So
I would assume with the paving going on, that's probably a lot of that money is buried in there, I would guess.
So 30,000 is not typical monthly billing.
Okay.
Okay, engineer billing is usually driven by a lot of capital projects. So once these capital projects are done, there's no more billing for that. So no, this is not usual. This is high area, high time because we have a lot of projects going on.
Good. That
What's
eases
his,
my
if I may
mind a
ask,
little
sorry.
bit.
So his office hours is what, like maybe 10 hours a week here?
Monday, Wednesday, right? I don't know.
Monday, Wednesday, 1 to 5.
8 hours.
Yeah. So that's 8 hours a week. So everything else is really all office staff and outside time.
Let me thank you all for including this bill list. I'm looking forward to continuing to receive it, and I love looking at some of the numbers.
I'm glad we can make you happy, Chuck.
Yeah, I hope we are astute in what we're approving here, that it all makes sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck.
And Chuck, I mean this sincerely, I appreciate you keeping us on our toes. That's not being snarky. Snarky will come at the
That's the
second
later part.
public comment section. All right, so any other member of the public here in person? I see no one. Megan, at home?
If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. All right, so let's go to item number 6, ordinance 594-26, introduction, first reading, amending section 720 entitled Vehicles Over Designated Weight Excluded from Certain Streets in chapter 7 entitled Traffic of the Township Code by adding a weight restriction on a portion of Long Hill Road. Jack, this sounds like your wheelhouse.
This came from the police department, and I just implemented it. It prohibits vehicles with more than 10,000 pounds from using that portion of Long Hill Road. And as I say, it was at the request of the police department.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions, comments from the Township Committee? Since it's first reading, I'll look for a motion to approve.
So moved?
Second.
Committeewoman Fettis?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza? Committeeman Liberato?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia?
Yes. So here we're going to add ordinance 595-26, intro first reading. Jack's going to explain. Did you want to actually go through it? Do you want me to read the ordinance, or you want to go through it?
Either way, I can go through.
I'll read it. I'll read it, and then Jack will explain it. So this is for discussion, well, it's actually for first reading. An ordinance of the Township of Long Hill, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending the township zoning map and land use ordinance by creating a new assisted living zone and rezoning block 11301, lot 4, to permit an assisting living and memory care residence as a permitted primary use consistent with the township's fourth round housing element and fair share plan. The township's settlement agreement with Fair Share Housing Center and the Superior Court's judgment of compliance and repose, supplementing and amending various sections of the township land use ordinance. Now, I know the public is saying that's a lot of legalese, and even I think the township committee is saying that. So, Jack, could you
Yes.
break it down for us?
In 2023, the contract purchaser at that time of the lot across the street next to Walgreens obtained bulk and use variances to construct a 100-unit, or 100-bed, I should say, assisted living facility. That approval was granted with a number of conditions, and one of the conditions was that they had to provide 10 affordable beds, which became part of our fourth round housing element and fair share plan. All this ordinance does is it memorializes the terms of that approval by the Board of Adjustment. I think it's better, and Fair Share Housing Center prefers it if mechanisms that are part of the Fair Share plan are actually embodied in an ordinance rather than just a board approval. So this ordinance does not really change anything. As I say, it just memorializes the terms and conditions of the Board of Adjustment approval. And it's an unusual ordinance in that it basically incorporates the terms and conditions of that Board of Adjustment resolution. And then it includes bulk standards on the last page, which were crafted to meet that particular development. I've run this ordinance by the township planner, Jessica Caldwell. She's approved it, and she added certain things to it. So if you're okay with that, we can introduce it tonight. It will have to get referred to the planning board and then come back to you. But that's the basis for it, is basically to memorialize that use across the street so that we protect our fourth round housing element and fair share plan.
Jack, that was a great explanation. And I assume what comes back will probably have some tweaks here and there, recommendations from the planning board. So this is not the final draft or the final ordinance.
That's correct. The planning board is free to make, their basic job is to decide whether it's not inconsistent with the master plan, which is state talk, double negative. And they can also recommend other changes to the township committee, and usually they're very useful, and we incorporate them.
So any questions, comments from the township committee?
Yeah, can I say one other thing? I know we've, much at my recommendation, in part, we've always had a discussion at one meeting before we introduced an ordinance at the next meeting. But because of the fact that this ordinance merely memorializes the status quo, the township committee thought it would be okay to proceed tonight, especially because it's only first reading, and we only meet once a month during the summer.
Sounds good.
So, with that, questions, comments, township committee? If not, looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Committeewoman Fettis.
Yes.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. So this is second reading. Ordinance 592-26, an ordinance amending and supplementing certain sections of the land use ordinance of the Township of Long Hill, 1996, to add or update certain terms to remove invalid and redundant terms. Jack, I'm going to turn it to you again.
Yeah, this is basically a house cleaning ordinance that came from the planning board, and as the title suggests, it just cleans up the language, basically.
And you have a memo from, or a resolution from the planning board, 592, that says they reviewed it and it's not inconsistent with the master plan.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, so now, since it is second reading, I'm going to open up a public hearing for anybody in the audience for this ordinance only. Seeing none, Megan, home?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 592-26, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 592-26?
So moved.
Committeewoman Fettis.
Yes.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes, ordinance 593-26, also second reading, an ordinance amending land use ordinance of the Township of Long Hill regarding places of assembly, places of worship, and public and private schools. Mr. Jack.
Yeah, once again, this is an ordinance from the planning board that clarifies many of those sections that pertain to those uses named in the title. We also discussed this at the last meeting, so it's ready for, oh, I'm sorry, we discussed it and then it was introduced at the last meeting, so it's ready for adoption this evening.
And the planning board also reviewed this for master plan consistency. You guys have a resolution 593-26 saying it's not inconsistent with the master plan.
Okay. Yep. So we'll open up the meeting to the public for those here in the courtroom. Seeing none, Megan at home?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 593-26, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. Let's close it to the public. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 593-26? Second.
Committeewoman Fettis.
Yes.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes, so item number 7 on your agenda. Megan, do we have to vote individually, 187, 188, or combined?
For the audit.
You could combine them.
The CFO says you
All
can
right.
combine.
So this is the audit presentation for 2025, 26-187, 188, the governing body certification of the annual audit. Everybody on the township committee has had a chance to review the audit, and as well, 188, the auto corrective action plan.
Mayor, I just want to add
Yes.
a comment. So basically, the state certification is that the committee review at minimum the recommendations. I know you guys have reviewed more of it. It was sent to you earlier this week electronically. But the one recommendation that we do have in the audit is a repeat of last year and is a repeat of the year before and is a repeat of the year before. That we do not have the proper amount of staffing to have proper segregation of duties within the finance office. We have evaluated that. We have put steps in place to mitigate as much as we can of redundancy and people doing too much of the steps within the tax office. We also include the tax collector in that. So within that and myself reviewing, I review on a monthly basis the general ledger entries, review the general entries, review the bill list and review the revenues. So to have additional staff in the finance would not be cost effective to the residents of the town. And I know this committee does appreciate that very much, and they try to keep the costs down. So with that being said, the rest of the audit is in good shape. We're in a decent fiscal position relative to other municipalities that Nissabakia does. And this audit will be, once adopted, will be placed on the website under the finance department sometime tomorrow.
Randy, thank you. And I just wanted to add one thing, if I could, Randy. That staffing issue regarding finance, it's really not an issue. It's common in all towns our size.
Correct. We're just not big enough to have.
Right, 8,700 people, and I would venture to guess every town similar in size to us gets that same comment in their audit. So, that said, any questions for Randy? Comments? Can I have a motion to adopt resolutions 26-187 and 26-188?
So moved.
Committeewoman Fettis?
Yes.
Committeeman Liberato?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia?
Yes. Item number 8 on your agenda, consent agenda resolutions. Anybody need anything pulled for clarification or to recuse themselves? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to approve 26-189 through 26-200 on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Committeewoman Fettis?
Yes.
Committeeman Liberato?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia?
Right, committee
You
reports.
didn't vote.
I'm sorry?
You didn't vote.
I just approved it unilaterally.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, I was doing so well, Megan. Item number 9, committee reports. Frank, you want to start?
I can start. I don't have too much to report tonight, other than, I know HPAC was meeting tonight, so we hadn't had a meeting since our last meeting. So I don't have anything new to report in regards to that. Open space, we have a meeting, I believe, coming up next week, I believe on the 20th, if I'm correct. So I'll be attending that. And I have some announcement later, but no other committee reports at the moment. Kind of a light month.
I'm sorry.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm done. Is Vic gonna read the recreation report remotely?
I got it.
Oh.
I don't think we're gonna get the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, he's in a good mood. Let's,
It's gonna be
Summer
Reader's-
vibes.
microphone.
Reader's Digest.
Yeah, right?
We need the mic, Matt.
Summer vibes all the way in rec right now. Next slide. Our Dog Days of Summer concert series in full swing. Thursday nights, Cantor Park, including this Thursday. Speaking of which, Street Hassle will play this Thursday, 7 o'clock, Cantor Park. It's a free concert. Scream Truck will be there from 7:30 to 8:30. What a great way to cool off. Construction continues. They're going to pave. It's got a cure, and then they're going to do what they have to do. It'll be ready early September. Next slide. Wednesday, Sterling Lake. Albie Ashbrook, the librarian, will be there at 3 o'clock to read books and do a craft with anyone who is there. It's free, so come on down and enjoy the book and craft. They're halfway through the summer rec season. That means still have another half to make a lot more summer memories. Last week in the grades K to 8 camp, they had Hawaii Day. Always a lot of fun with our campers, and they get to do the limbo, hula hoop, and lots of luauing. We also crowned this year's checker champion. Congratulations. They collected food donations for 12 Baskets Food Pantry and made a drop-off at the First Presbyterian Church of the items needed most for the summer distributions. Thank everybody, all the kids and their families for contributing. Slide 7, National Night Out. I don't know if Frank was going to announce that. Mark your calendars. August 4th, 6 to 9, Cantor Park. It's free for everybody. The local businesses, emergency services will have live music, games, food, treats, special demonstrations, and it's a fun night for everybody, so come on down. Fall field hockey registration will be open by the end of the week on Community Pass. Grades 5 to 8 for players in Long Hill, Warren, Watchung, and Greenbrook. Want to have some fun with Summer Parks and Rec? Come join the Rec Advisory Committee. Visit their website for more information. And the last one, clean up the parks, please. There's so many garbage, you practically trip over them. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Just throw your stuff out. It's really pathetic that people just can't pick up after themselves. So please throw the stuff out. The township DPW, employees, and Good Samaritans that go through the park shouldn't have to clean up your garbage. So please pick up after yourselves. All right, what, the library update now?
Yep, I'm working on it.
Library's open Monday to Saturday during July and August, so the only change since last time is they are closed on Sunday.
What a good update.
How about that? There's a lot going on every day for all ages. There's dance class for local businesses this Friday that's lots of fun. All right? They have a mindful movement class for adults. All are welcome. It's gentle movement, so it's low impact, but it's a way to get moving and get some exercise. There are multiple silent book clubs all around town, so stop in the library and ask how to join one. It's free and open to everybody. We're having online art talks each month. Register online or with the front desk at Circulation. And finally, this could be a big one, we have a K-pop demon party going on this Saturday. And if that isn't your style, come read to a dog from the Creature Comfort. So I think there's going to be a big crowd this Sunday for the K-pop demon party this Saturday. And if you don't like that, who doesn't like reading to a dog? So come on down on Saturday. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
I thought that was excellent, Matt.
Thank you.
Teresa?
I don't have anything from the Shade Tree Commission. I'm picking that in June, so I'll have something in August.
No worries at all. All right, so just a couple of things. I know this took a little bit to get off the ground, but we are going to institute Township Committee office hours, Mondays 10 to 12. A member of the Township Committee, I'll start it off. Frank is going to do it. Any other member, there will be at least one, up to two. You can't have more than two. Mondays 10 to 12. Ideally, you can reach out to Megan just to say, just set the appointment, not because we want to control anything, but if multitude of people come, we don't want everybody waiting. So if you want to make an appointment, great. If you don't want to make an appointment, that's fine as well. Mondays 10 to 12, the meetings will take place in the mayor's office.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get one of those machines that tracks the amount of people, so if there's a long line serving number 5, number 15, we're good, we'll be prepared.
Like the ShopRite?
Yeah, your number's called, you come in, you know?
All right. Everybody participated in the storm of whatever it was, July 3rd, right? Whenever it was. All I want to say is a big thank you to everybody who helped out. Special thanks to Chief Chambriello, Chief Gallo, Colette, Frank, the police department, the DPW department. Everybody chipped in. It was an unusual storm that it came into a long weekend. And I would say JCP&L, while they do a good job most times, there was some challenges this time. People on vacation, etc. The information that was put out wasn't as helpful as it typically is. And the cut and run, which is what we arrange with them, being the most important item, so the roads can be open safely and quickly. That also was a little bit slower than usual. So, all that said, thank you, Cliff, Chief, and everybody who participated. If I forgot anybody, I do apologize. I take this opportunity every time. I don't do it in the middle of the storm because nobody wants to hear or get nagged. as their power's out. Now that the power's back, please, please, please sign up for Long Hill Alert. That is the best way to find out what's going on. It's not running to your Facebook page and having your 50 best friends complain about their power being out. You can do that too, but the first thing you should do is report it to JCP&L. And if you've signed up for Long Hill Alert, you will get a message from the chief, from Randy, somebody from Town Hall. There will be messages going out. There were a multitude of messages that went out that I know a lot of people on social media did not read because they weren't signed up for Long Hill Alert. I promise this is the last time these words are gonna come out of my mouth.
Depends what it
Roostergate,
is.
Roostergate. We did a lot of research on this one. No town, to my knowledge, allows roosters. We weren't outside the box on that one, so that was fine. We can dovetail into Chicken Gate. Our ordinance is quite lenient relative to every town I've seen. Towns like Warren have, you know, you have to have 1.5 acre, all these things. We don't care how many chickens you have per se. We're not gonna go out there and count them. I don't think the chief wants to go out and count chickens, as long as you're reasonable. So, let's just put that one to bed. Roostergate is over. Jack, this is a question I wanted to ask you before we did it in public, but I think time is of the essence now.
That's a pretty scary intro.
Well, you and I talked about it, and I let it slip, and now I think we're running up against the clock. So this is something that we should discuss as a township committee. We may have to do it tonight. The funding for across the street.
Yes.
For the park. We can use open space money for that, from the open space fund.
Yes.
But we may want to add to that. So the only way I can see to add to that, two ways. You can bond, or you can put it to the public. It's their park. So I don't know if we would want to consider a referendum specific to that park. And is there a deadline?
It's 81 days before election. I'm not sure that, I think that's after our next meeting. Is it, Megan?
Megan, could you?
Hang on, I can check and get.
Hold
the-
on.
And I'm not saying I want to do it. I think it would be a good idea to let the public decide. Either way, they're gonna pay for it. Right?
Well, are you?
August 12th.
Are you,
It has to be in August.
I guess
It would have to be at that meeting.
The discussion, I think, maybe you guys wanna have a input discussion from the public, because a referendum at this point, we don't know the cost,
Fair enough.
what we're gonna put there or anything else.
So it could be next year anyway.
We do know a trail, that's being started, and that's being funded by, Morris County Trail Parks.
So put your CFO hat on. Could we, even if it moved faster than we expect, and I think you're right, I don't think it could move that fast, but even if it moved faster than we expect, we could bond for some of the costs in 2026 and then have a referendum in 27 to pay off the bond and anything else. But that's something the public can have a discussion
But
on.
once you do a bond ordinance, the township committee has a right to enter into a bond ordinance. You
Right.
don't need a referendum
That's right.
at that point.
In-
Because you're doing the same thing as a referendum would do, allow debt and to pay off that debt.
Yeah, but.
In fact,
Pay an interest rate. I'm
in
trying
fact,
to
the
avoid
public has a right to file a protest to a bond ordinance and force a binding referendum as opposed to a non-binding referendum.
My point is I'd rather not have to pay interest on something the public's, you're paying more than you need to.
But you don't have to borrow the money.
Right.
You can
When you
appropriate
do a
the money.
bond ordinance, you know,
It can remain open.
I never borrow the money until I need it.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you get tax anticipation notes that are, very cheap, relatively speaking. And then once the project's done and you have a group of projects or maybe one large project, then you go out for permanent bonding.
Okay, I mean, I just wanted to put it out there so it's in our minds. This is something that's been in motion for 17 years, I think. Before we bought the property
Yeah.
and et cetera. Just so we know, it has to be paid for at some point. How we pay for it is the question.
Right.
Okay, that's it. That's what I have. So now I'm gonna turn it over to Randy for the administrator's report.
Okay, so Long Hill Phase One is complete. We're awaiting DOT inspection with punch list items, if any, they will be addressed. Chestnut Street, the same thing, where it's completed, we're waiting DOT inspection, and the punch list will be completed before we close out the project. New Jersey American Water continues to do work throughout the township, and one of their sewer projects is gonna be in Long Hill Road, the county section, and I do recall telling you guys, great news, the county is gonna do Long Hill Road, but with this anticipated sewer work, the county has pushed off the 2026 repaving of that road until the 2027 project.
Because of it.
Because of the, because, it makes sense, obviously. They don't wanna pave the road and then have it dug up right away. Tennis courts and basketball courts, this has, been a more difficult project than what it originally appeared to be. They have submitted the drainage system for approval by the engineer for around the tennis courts. The basketball court has been paved. Restoration is still to be completed around the basketball courts when they restore the tennis courts. The overlay painting that will be done has to be completed no less than 30 days after the final paving. So they're gonna do both courts after they do the paving of the tennis courts, which I would think would be probably around the end of August, beginning of September.
Why is that it has to be done?
Oil
Yep,
leaks.
okay.
So we are very aware of the pathway situation. Certain section is blocked off. We will, once the heavy trucks are out, we will have a temporary fix with the pathways, and we do have repaving in a capital ordinance already. So I anticipate that they'll be likely in September or October where the pathways will be repaved. Planning board zoning, I got 2 new applications, one of them being Sterling Crossing, for a total of 13 that are before the boards. 2 projects are still in resolution compliance. They issued 7 zoning permits and 3 lot grading permits. Clerk's office issued 620 daily parking permits and 101 other registrations, licenses, and requests processed through them. The fire prevention had 17 fire incidents, whereby 9 investigations were completed. They are busy with inspections. They're doing business inspections, annual business inspections, and they are updating their list of new businesses that moved in, and Don is finding new businesses that moved in that had never gone to the zoning board, person. So he's telling them that they have to get a zoning permit and so forth, so on. So we're catching people and taking people off that moved out. He also collected delinquent fees from Sunrise Detox for false fire alarms for 2025 and 26. They are up to date with all the state registrations and municipal fines and registrations. Code enforcement had 42 complaints come through the office. All 42 were investigated. Notices and/or summonses were sent out appropriately. 12 temporary signs were issued. He issued 15 recycling warning tags, and he did 4 fire inspections. Finance, we collected 2025 taxes during the month of June. We collected $16,661. 2026 taxes, $158,196. Other revenue, $205,463, and parking utility, $2,600. Total disbursements, we had local school tax of $1,594,554, regional school tax $637,866, and other disbursements, including salary and wages, were amounted to $1,064,402, and the parking utility at $222. Deputy Mayor have already talked about the concerts in the park and recreation. Municipal court, we collected $13,987 in fines and costs, in which the town were able to keep $3,937. 270 tickets were issued, and 18 criminal complaints were issued. Year to date, we have collected $65,446, and the township share was $23,022. Public Works, they have finished the storm debris curbside pickup as of 7:15. As of the end of today, they are finished. So if you have debris out, there were certain properties that cut down bushes in front of their houses and put them out. This was for storm debris only. So bring those stuff in before the code enforcement gets to you. You have to dispose of them on your own. The Public Works will not go back as stated in the beginning. They did one straight through. They did have 120 truckloads of storm debris. So there were 3 styrofoam days of processing, 10 days basin cleanings, completing all 1,300 plus. Routine basin repair continue, and we also do pre-paving upgrades for the streets that'll be in our milling and paving program. Al, do we have a tentative date for that yet? Okay. Okay. And once we have those tentative dates, it will be advertised on the website, and projected dates for each street, and we'll have the list of streets and so forth. So just, again, like the mayor said, either sign up for Alert Long Hill, Alert Long Hill, or go to our website. That's where you'll get the information. They did a lot of cleanup at the lake, spread the sand. They did 2 days of sweeping, storm cleanup, 5 days of tree cleanup separate from the storm, and lawn maintenance and welcome signs that were repaired. And I did get the police report, but I forgot to print it out and bring it with me. So I'll give 2 months at the next meeting.
Andy, that's great.
That's all I have. And you already mentioned the meet the mayor in office hours and meet the committeeman in office hours. I won't.
Well, I think the public would like to hear it again. What are the
Yeah.
hours?
10 to 12 every Monday.
There you go. We should put it on the website if you don't.
It will be on the website tomorrow, and it starts this coming Monday,
Yes.
July 20th.
Mayor's kicking it off, first one.
Mayor said the first 20 people will get free coffee. I just put you on the spot.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta write that in your notes now.
Free coffee. It makes me nauseous. Anyway, but that's not relevant. Item number, where are we? Oh, here we go. Discussion items, I do apologize. Item number 11, this is for discussion. An ordinance amending and supplementing certain sections of the land use ordinance of the Township of Long Hill to amend section LU-123 entitled Prohibited Uses. Is this in light
Yeah.
of our conversation regarding data centers?
Yes, to
All
some
right.
extent.
I just want, okay, but I wanted to give some context as to why I called Jack on this. It has been said in this room, and I didn't really know at the time, that towns like Warren, and Warren in particular, had banned data centers. In fact, that is not correct. I've been in touch with the mayor of Warren for various reasons over the last couple of months. What they did is made data centers a prohibited use, which in my opinion, I think Jack's, but in neither case our current ordinance already does. However, I think we had already kicked it to the planning board. And so Warren, it's a prohibited use. If somebody wanted to apply to build a data center, it's not banned, you can't ban it. So they would have to go to one of the land use boards, whether for a site plan for the planning board or
Board of
use
Adjustment.
variance to the Board of Adjustment. But the point is, Warren, which was referenced in here, did not ban data centers. They made it a prohibited use, which I believe we already have done in an existing ordinance. That said, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Jack.
Yeah, this is another ordinance that came from the planning board, Mayor, and it does two things with respect to prohibited uses in the zoning ordinance. The first thing it does is remove superfluous and obsolete language. For example, the current ordinance prohibits mink farms, fox farms, and commercial piggeries, nightclubs and dance halls, and various other uses that are archaic, to say the least. And it replaces that with a catch-all prohibition that says all uses not specifically permitted by this ordinance are expressly prohibited. So that would apply to data centers, as you referenced.
So they cleaned up the language. We did, and at the recommendation of Committeeman Liberato, we did send it to the planning board, and they have responded as we asked them to. Matt had insisted they answer us as quickly as possible, and it appears they have.
And they did. Before, there was a litany of uses, and it appears that over time, anytime something became controversial, they just added it to the list. And now, as I said, they've changed that and substituted one blanket prohibition, and then it continues the prohibition against cannabis establishments.
Fair enough. Okay, that's it for that?
That's-
So questions or comments to Jack, because this is something we specifically asked.
Well, is our discussion's still not dead about the data centers, correct?
No, you can still,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I just don't it as a prohibited use. Because, I mean, everybody wants to be cute, and be honest, no offense to Teresa, you, and everybody else that really busted their butts and do the master plan, nobody reads it. So, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, the general public doesn't care what the master plan says. They know buzzwords, they know certain catchphrases, and if we can prohibit a piggery or a motel or a movie theater, why can't we prohibit a data center? Just-
Piggeries are no longer banned, though.
Well, okay, then I can
Yeah.
start a piggery next week, and a fox farm.
Nightclub, what about nightclub, Jack? That's banned too?
that was prohibited before, yes.
No, but to be, and I hear what you're saying, Matt, it's kind of like, why didn't the governor ban, I apologize, why didn't she declare a state of emergency? I went painstakingly through the reasons why it was not necessary in order to qualify for FEMA money, it appears. That aside, I hear what you're saying, why not do it anyway?
Correct.
I think the answer is what the planning board said to us. Any use not specifically approved is effectively banned,
Yes.
which would include data
And so I
centers.
don't understand then, what's the harm of just adding two words to the, or three words, AI data center to the thing? I don't see what the harm is in doing this, and it's not gonna hurt anybody.
You could certainly do that.
Yeah, and granted, look, we all know logistically it's almost impossible, but as you said, was a emotional support ordinance? Is that what it's referred
I
to it as?
stole that.
You stole that
the
from,
Yolanda.
yes, but that's what it is. You know what? If it makes people feel better, it's a very simple thing to do, and it's done. And if somebody wants to come get a variance, fine. But I think it's just easier, designate it that, take it off the playing field, and it's done. Then we don't have to talk about it anymore.
This is not a hill I'm gonna die on. I'm perfectly willing when Vic is back, let's just take a quick vote. I'm
Fair enough.
Whatever the majority says, I'm fine with. But understand, the only thing that would be banned, correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, would be anything that's not on the approved list and data centers.
That's fine.
And cannabis.
Pull out
And
cannabis.
Cannabis establishments.
Fair enough.
So
All right, there
we
you
could
go.
certainly add a paragraph C
Right.
to the ordinance and add data centers.
And I would say, put it in the back of your mind, I said it at first facetiously when it was first brought up, and I brought up small modular reactors, nuclear reactors. They're coming sooner than we think, maybe 10 years from now, and that does not require as much space. So at least, it's still banned. SMRs are banned by what you just said, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
So I'm fine either way.
Thank you.
If the vote is 3-2 to ban it, I have no problem doing it.
All right, then I guess we'll wait till we get it
Wait till
back.
Vic comes
Fine,
in.
that's fair.
Because tonight it might be 2-2. Oh, Vic's up, but he can't vote, you said.
Well, you can participate in a discussion item, no, Jack?
Vic, are
He
you
can
there?
participate, but he can't vote, that's right.
Vic, if you can hear us, unmute yourself if you want to make a comment in regards to data centers in the ordinance.
Okay,
I guess he's
Maybe
not
next
going to
time.
participate.
sorry, Vic, we put you on the spot there, buddy. All right, so just, if you don't mind, put it on the agenda for next meeting. I think we kind of know where people are leaning. I'm fine either way, I just think it's superfluous.
So I'll continue this particular
Me too.
ordinance. Oh, Vic
No,
is
this
on.
one,
Hello?
I'm good, I have no comment. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you have no
woke 'em up.
comment, that doesn't help us. It could still end up 2-2.
but this ordinance will be introduced at the next meeting, so it could be introduced
Ah,
either
so
with
we
or
could-
without.
You could vote there. You could
It's
say
paragraph
it-
C.
say it
So
is there.
are we gonna leave it as is and then
I'd put
if-
it on for introduction and
Right,
just
we'll put it
leave
on for
open the
intro-
question of whether we're adding a paragraph C.
Is that okay?
Perfectly fine by me.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Yep,
All
me
right.
too.
Thank you, Vic. All right, an ordinance amending section LU 134-7, land use ordinance of the Township of Long Hill entitled Residential Sheds to Update Standards. What prompted this one?
I don't know.
It's,
They're going through the master plan and getting,
This-
ordinances.
yes,
being
this is a
compliant with the
cleanup from
master
the
plan.
planning board that also came through.
It's been for a while.
Yeah.
The ordinance review committee submitted this to you guys, just for
Okay.
consideration.
So this is just discussion?
Correct, it's just discussion.
And this too will be introduced at the next meeting.
All right, I mean, unless you have questions or comments for Jack, we just put it on.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
I think they've been talking about this for like 2 years, so.
It's time.
You say that painfully, Teresa. If we opened up a wound there. All right. We'll move on. Item number 12, old new business, seeing none or?
The only thing I would
What do you got?
throw out there is, I want to thank Randy and I want to thank Mark Andres for assisting, keeping an eye on things, DPW for us. We've had some people from out of town taking advantage of our very kind services here of, taking care of the brush and the debris. And it's very nice that Mark was able to put some time in and come down there and spot check IDs and start discovering we have some visitors from out of town dumping with our brush pile and such. So it's good that we did that. I appreciate that. And, Mark will be keeping an eye out. And, because obviously it costs our taxpayers money to process all that material and make it into mulch. And, other towns don't necessarily offer that service. So, of course, people would want to drive over here, but just try to keep everybody honest. So you might see Mark out there checking your ID to make sure you're from town. That's, like I said, DPW did a great job, along with everybody else.
Yes, they did. So I would say our very own Matt Dorsey, which Al should be included, and the entire DPW department, Matt's become a little bit of a recycling rock star in all the local newspapers.
Oh, that's right, he was in the paper, that's right.
I was. Facebook and.
Yeah.
And
It's gone viral.
And kidding aside, it has gone viral, and kidding aside, this is a project that Al has worked on with a number of towns, including Warren. And Warren has publicly thanked Long Hill, especially Matt and Al and Al's team, for the styrofoam thing. But any chance we get to partner with our neighbors, our towns, we do. And so, I said that honestly, Matt has worked very hard on recycling for probably 10 years now, along with Al, so
Well,
thank you.
just today, I have to say, I was down there because my mother got a new TV, so I recycled the box, the styrofoam, old batteries, what else? Oh, the old TV I got rid of down there.
Food waste.
And there was a gentleman dumping food waste, I was there, and I recycled plastic bags, and then I was accosted by a resident, and then I went to work.
And the residents in the room.
Yeah, correct.
Did Mark Andres ask for proof of?
No, Mark was not at the gate, but yes, but there was somebody else policing the area and
Yeah.
got to me.
Yeah, Chuck volunteered to fill it when Mark's not available.
I'm sure he will.
So anything else? Item number.
Yes,
Yeah.
when we get to that.
Yeah, so item number 13, so that's announcements. National Night Out has been announced previously this evening, but it's August 4th, 6 to 9. It is always a wonderful time. It's right here at Matthew G. Canta Park.
Are they doing Dunk the Mayor this year?
I think it's Dunk, the new township committee member.
Well, Teresa's the newest.
No, Teresa.
You got seniority.
So it would be you, I think.
I can pass.
That's right. I think Teresa gets a pass.
That's right, yes, he does.
All right, so you have an announcement.
Yes, so the only announcement I have for tonight is, mark your calendars for next year. We got all 4 first responder agencies together, Millington Fire, Sterling Fire, Long Hill Police, First Aid Squad. We're gonna do our first all-together golf outing next year, which will benefit all the agencies, and it'll be open, obviously, to the community, whoever wants to sign up. There will be information coming in the near future, but we do have a date. It's gonna be May 24th, 2027. It's the Monday of the week before Memorial Day, so the weather should be nice. It's gonna be at Brook Lake Country Club, and it should be a great time for all. It'll be good to meet all of your first responders in town. It'll be great for residents and sponsors and businesses, and I think it'll be something that, you know, kind of brings the community together. And hopefully, if it really takes off, it'll be something we'll do annually, and it'll be nice to have everybody working together on a team. We have set up our committee together. We've already met. So once, hopefully for the next meeting, council meeting, our flyers will be together. You'll start looking for it on social media, and it should be a great event. And we're really looking forward to it.
I think that is just a tremendous idea, because you folks, men and women, typically when you meet, it's in an emergency.
Correct.
Whether it's fire or somebody's having a medical issue and stuff like that. So I think that's a great idea, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be something really nice, and, you know, I've run other golf outings with other agencies, and we're gonna, God bless you. So we're gonna piggyback off of that, and it'll just be nice, all four agencies working together.
Yes, it will.
So it'll be a great event. So thank you.
Thank you for bringing that. All right, so, anybody else? No? Item number 14, the meeting is open to the public. Remarks, statements pertaining to any matter, any matter. While we know each other well, would you mind stating your name and?
Pam Ogens, Millington. Just to give you a little additional information with ordinance 592-26, as a member of the planning board, our legal counsel advised us not to delineate prohibited uses. In her expert opinion, that can be used against you, because you list your prohibited, and when someone comes in with site plan, whatever, that they want to do, which is not good for the town, but isn't listed on the prohibited list, it kind of gives them additional fuel to say, well, you didn't prohibit this. So it's expert counsel that told us being the planning board, not to start singling out things as prohibited. So bear that in mind with data centers. That
And
was,
I appreciate you
Good
coming,
point.
and in fact, that was my point all along. Because, and I have a good mentor, Jack has explained that to me. If you ban, I'm trying to think of something, not the best analogy, but if you ban one thing, but you didn't ban something that's similar.
That's right.
Therefore, since you didn't ban something that's similar, you've approved it, which isn't true, of course.
Right.
But,
right. So, you know, it's still gonna go through zoning board or planning board or whatever, but bear that in mind. That's why data centers were not specifically, or anything else was not specified. Also, as a member of the planning board, the sheds ordinance, that was recommended to the planning board in the annual report by the zoning board. That was one of the complaints that they saw on their hit list quite often, and asked the planning board to address the sheds issue. So that's why it has gone high up on the list of ordinances that we, the planning board, are looking at, but specifically the ordinance review committee. Just changing things a little bit, the asphalt sidewalking in Cantor Park, I'm glad that you're addressing that. It's more than just repaving. I'm sure you've walked around there. I'm there almost every day. It's in really hazardous repair.
Yes.
It's an accident waiting to happen. So I hope that it's budgeted. If not, we come up with the money, because it's gonna be more than just paving over. It looks like
No,
a huge project.
Yes, and we have also discussed about adding a path or two, so.
Oh.
Yes, we are aware of that. We were aware of it prior to the construction beginning, and we had money set aside last year to do it. and we consciously decided not to do it, not to waste the taxpayers' money, because we were having cement trucks, front-end loaders, dump trucks, doing that work on the two courts. So, unfortunately, it got destroyed a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah.
It
It was
only held
overnight.
up one day, I think, with the heavy trucks, but we are fully aware of it. Quite honestly, I was hoping that they would be out already. That's not the case. We had some issues, and we're resolving those issues, but we're gonna have a great product at the end of the day, and the pads are gonna look sharp. And Al, Lisa, and I are working together to put in the limits of where we need to do. It will be milled. If there's any base stone that needs to be put down, we'll be putting that down and so forth. So
Excellent.
it'll be done the right way.
And I'm glad to hear you say there are some areas that are heavy trafficked.
Yes.
That probably could benefit from
Yeah,
the
and
real pathway.
yeah, we see where foot traffic goes off the paths, so we're trying to redirect people and maybe put topsoil and fill in grass where grass should be.
Good.
So instead of footpaths, so we're working on that, and like I said, probably in reality, probably September, October, but it'll be nice fall weather for walking. So
Lastly, in my previous role as being a member of the Master Plan Committee, I had a task of taking photos of some areas around town that could be potentially in need of redevelopment. So just cutting to the chase, I have a photo of the thermoplastics site on my phone from November 11th, 2019. Needless to say, I'm pleased to see that something has happened there. Battleship gray is better than rust. So I don't know who facilitated that or how you got it done.
That was Vic.
But it's appreciated, and now maybe we can focus our attention on the property next to it. But this is a start, and it's something, and maybe it even helps the landowner get that property leased, because it's a little better looking than it was prior to the paint job. Thank you.
Pam, Vic was out there, I saw him, my own two eyes, the day after you spoke to us about like 2 months ago, or he was out there the next day, so next time
Good.
you see him.
Yeah, I also brought it to his attention whenever I saw
Yeah.
him.
Nice.
He heard you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pam.
Pam, thank you for your patience for staying all this time. And Vic, if you're here, I mean this in a very complimentary way. When Vic gets something, when he gets that bone in his mouth, he ain't letting it go.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the best that was done.
Yes.
Okay, meeting's still open to the public.
Hi, Justin Daly from Myersville.
Hi.
I'm one of the Chicken Gate people. All right, so first of all, I'm here to object to Police Regulation Section 3-20. We'll call it the unnecessary chicken law. Overnight, you made activities that I have participated in for the last 10 years illegal. For you, I guess it's not a big deal. Counting chickens is not something that you're worried about, but there's a lot of people in the community that are. Being able to free range our chickens, that's another item that's in that law. That's something I like to do. It's not illegal. $100 fine. All right? Like, you have to understand, like, words have meanings. This can be used against us. This is, like, very anxiety-ridden for a lot of people in the community. All right? This is a direct attack at us. It's a fine. Maybe it's not a big deal. It's only $100, right? But you can still come at us. Our neighbors can come after us. Like, it's not a fun thing to have hanging over our heads. So, I know this was about a rooster originally, but you did a whole law, and I understand you're saying, yes, that other towns had this, like, we're just using what other people used, but it wasn't in this town, okay? 10 years ago when I moved here because it was a town that was not full of tons of regulations. Overnight, an activity that I enjoy, which is free-ranging my chickens, is now illegal. Now, I know it's maybe a simple thing for you guys, just, oh, yeah, it got passed. It's not that big of a deal. But it affects people. It hurts a lot of people.
Chicken mean? I don't even know what that means.
Oh, my God.
Other than you're running around, the chickens are loose.
All right,
They
so,
go to-
so in your rule, you mandated shall, the use of the word shall, you mandated that my chickens have to stay within an enclosure and/or the coop, okay? Outside of the coop and the enclosure, in my yard, enjoying my wonderful yards, my beautiful hens can enjoy the insects, take care of all of the little, deer ticks that my kids might get otherwise. The chickens do have a purpose, okay? When they free range in my backyard, outside of the enclosure
Right.
that you have mandated they must be within, they are serving a purpose.
No, I want to make sure I understand something. When I said, what does free range mean? I get the concept, but are they able, in your yard, are they able to go onto your neighbor's properties?
Yes, they are. In my yard, they absolutely are. And my neighbors, I've spoken them to about it 10 years ago. Before, when I first moved in, I told them I was going to get chickens. And I asked them, hey, is it okay if I do this, or do I need to put up a fence? They said, no problem. So for 10 years, my chickens have gone into my neighbors' yards, and guess where else my chickens love to go? My front yard where I have garden beds, okay? And I'm right there on Myersville Road for the whole world to see, okay? So it could not just be my neighbors. It could be one of our many citizens who hate chickens for whatever reason. I don't know why people have a vendetta against a beautiful little domesticated bird. Okay, we have plenty of wild birds in this town, but all of a sudden our domesticated birds are a huge issue, okay? Listen, this affects me, and I'm angry about it, okay? I wouldn't otherwise come to this meeting if it wasn't for the fact that literally right now, actually at this point they're in the coop, but today and most days, they're doing an activity that I will get hit with a $100 fine for, and I don't want that hanging over my head. If you want to leave it with the rooster, I think you should repeal the entire ordinance, but if you want to just prohibit the roosters, then do that. But get rid of the rest of the law, because the rest of the law is a direct attack at me, and I do not want to pay $100.
I just want to make sure I understand something. When you say you raise them, it's a hobby, that's wonderful. You said it's a business as well.
I never said business.
Oh, okay, then I'm.
No. I absolutely not a business. I
Okay.
mean, that's a whole nother thing you can bring that up. I mean, so when I say an unnecessary rule, one of the things that that you even pointed out on Facebook was the New Jersey regulations. Like, there are so many other agencies that can regulate this stuff. This town did not need to regulate this. You did not need to insert yourself in something that just was unnecessary.
The regulation that you're referencing that I did put out just for the public.
And you were right to do that, and you were very right to do that.
About selling eggs, and the state regulates that for good reason. I mean, intuitively, I thought, well, that's,
And honestly, I have no problem with that whatsoever. And listen, we have a lot of great places in town, Lombardo Farms and all the rest of them, and they should be subject. People should not be just selling them willy-nilly. There's a whole other thing where people can share eggs. Fair enough, exactly, and I'm on point with you on that. Like, the business part of it, I completely agree with. I think that's a zoning issue, but I don't think it should be a law enforcement issue. That's a whole nother thing. And then there's another thing in there, people can't kill their own bird. At the end of a bird's life, some people like to kill the bird and eat it, okay? This is a pet that people eat, okay? And I know to some people this is a problematic ethical issue.
That's an interesting thing to me. I kind of, well, not kind of, I think I agree with you. If you want to we allow the raising of chickens, and I'm kind of docile, so I don't like to kill anything, but that is common. So why would we ban somebody having a chicken and then, so I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but
You can change it.
So-
what was their purpose to banning as you said, I mean, you kill the chicken, you eat the chicken.
So that was in the ordinance that was used from another town, I guess, is the template?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the double bagging it if it dies and putting it in the garbage either.
But as Jack's looking that up, I will say this, on Marsville Road, there's a resident who had chickens in a coop. By the way, and that was relatively close to the lot line, and it's the thing that which Matt suggested, which helped out. Let's just make chicken coops the same setback as anything else.
I think it's greater, though.
So
I think it's actually a
the
great.
intention was to help, not to hurt. But in the question that I'm bringing up, the chickens would get out of this coop and run around this neighbor's yard. The neighbor wasn't upset about the chickens as much as he had 2 large dogs. And he said, if my dogs kill his chickens on my property, am I in trouble? I said, I don't know, I don't think so. Like if a dog, I'm just saying, I don't
Listen,
know.
I get both sides of this just as you do, and you're in then this is the difficult job that you have as a mayor. Listen, you were out without electricity, providing this town updates. You did a phenomenal job.
I still don't have air conditioning. You want you to feel sorry for me?
Yeah, no, but you guys all do a phenomenal job. I got nothing against any of you, but this is one thing where I did feel I needed to come in person and express my opinion about. Like, I'm happy to work with you guys. I'll tell you how to rewrite this law. You're not actually probably not a good idea. You probably need somebody in the middle, but yeah. No, but honestly, I'm with you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In
Thanks,
fairness,
Matt.
The intent was never
I understand.
to limit. I learned more about chickens and ordinances in other towns than that's why I said, I hope this is the end of chicken. Honestly, nobody's coming to your house. Has anybody come?
But they can.
That's
I know,
that's the
that's
point.
the
Like, yes, exactly. That's the point. Like, listen, this is today. How is this going to be used 10 years from now?
Free range chickens is allowed unless a neighbor complains. And therein lies you try to balance it. No neighbors complain to you, and the only complaint I've ever had about chickens going on someone else's property wasn't to complain about the chickens on his property. It was concerned that if his dog killed the chicken, was he gonna be fine?
And listen, I know that family, and I know the whole story about that too. The person didn't knock on their neighbor's door and talk to them about it. Like, a lot of this at the end of the day comes down to the fact that we don't talk to our neighbors anymore, and that's the bigger problematic issue here. So, like that, and I know that specific issue. That's the funny part about, I know exactly which house you're talking about. I know the family and everything. Like, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes back to, we as a community just need to talk to each other, and we don't need these unnecessary laws.
Let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it comes down to not passing unnecessary laws, because that makes us have to talk to each
I
other.
knew you were gonna work it
I
out.
know, you like that, right? As Matt threw me into the bus, I am a lawyer and a libertarian, so.
It was never meant to limit, that's the irony.
Yeah, listen.
It was meant to help with the setback, and then it kind of, the rooster thing got going. The irony is, I live next to a farm, as you probably know. I like the rooster when I hear him in the morning,
I do too.
but he doesn't go on all day.
Yeah, I don't have a rooster, and I asked them specifically, but again, I talked to my neighbors, I asked them, is it okay if I'm not gonna have a rooster, and they were happy. And I haven't had one, so, again, all these things kind of work together.
I remember one time a buddy of mine, he lived up in upstate New York somewhere, and he invited us up and he cooked us breakfast, and he had eggs, and I knew he had chickens in the back. He said, "Did you enjoy that?" I said, "Oh yeah, the eggs were very good." He goes, "Great, it cost $1,000 per egg because of the building of the coop, this, and then you had to worry about the fox coming in and."
It's just like a dog. It's the same idea. You're not making money. It's much more than that.
It's a labor of love.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. It
Yep.
was never meant. and
Understood.
honestly, nobody ever came to your house before. Nobody's ever gonna come to your house now, but I hear what you're saying. You feel that it's an
Exactly.
overhang. I don't know how to resolve this. Solomon, we get Solomon on.
I mean, if Justin wants to send us some ideas, I mean, I know his ideas are no law, but at the end of the day,
No, I'm happy to submit some stuff.
that's fine. I'm open to discussing it.
Sure.
Like, I'm not really for limiting the number. If you have 75 chickens
So
on
you
the
probably
truck.
enjoyed what I said. This is the last of Rooster Gate. This is
Well,
the last
yeah, I
of
was
Chicken
sitting
Gate.
over there smiling, but actually I was a little bit stewing, actually.
I wasn't poking you.
No, I know exactly what you were getting at. It's all good, man. So I appreciate all you
In
guys.
fact, and I'll leave it with
Okay.
this. I was stunned when I saw it. I think it was Warren, but a couple of towns like Chatham made. You can't have a chicken
I don't think
if
have
you don't
chickens
have.
at all.
Yeah, right. Chatham Township, borough,
Borough.
one of them,
Borough.
bans it outright.
Yeah.
Warren, you can only have chickens if you have 1.5 acres.
One
They-
counts 5 acres.
It got to be absurd.
you have to look at-
Warren Park was the most interesting. I thought they had it right, but I don't know how you delineate that. It was based on if you have 1/3 of an acre, you can have 4 chickens. If you have 2/3, you can have 8 chickens, et cetera, et cetera.
So you also have to look at the time period in which they were made. A lot of them came when a lot of people were coming from Sicily. I wanted to have chickens. So there's an element of that, just for you Italian guys. No, no, it was an anti-Italian rule. There's a whole thing about it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you coming in and
Thank
being
you.
so respectful. Thank you. Any other member of the public in the courtroom? I see nobody. Megan, I'm listening.
If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone
Motion
there.
adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Mike?
Thank you.